Welcome to the Footy Show here on Patreon.
That was a dead enthusiastic
start, Baz. It was
really enthusiastic.
You know what it is? It's
start.
like it's the international breaks got me already. I'm just trying to. Although to be fair, from a pure personal Everton point of view, it couldn't have come at a better time. The amount of injuries we've got, and hopefully we'll get some of them back. But we're at the first break.
Yeah.
Normally, this is what we'd say. The season starts now because all the transfer window and the new signs in, but that's already happened. But what have you made of the first block of 4 games? Who's impressed you? And forget Everton. But
Chelsea have impressed me. The way they've picked up from the Conte era, pretty seamless.
Yeah.
I suppose that's just Chelsea, though, isn't it? The way their players are. But I think they've impressed me.
What have you made of Watford?
Yeah, they're doing all right. I mean, they've had a reasonable start. Obviously, Spurs was the last game, and I think they did well against Spurs. So there's always one team, isn't there? There's always that one team that starts well, and it's whether they can carry that forward now. If they can carry that forward, they can be.
Could they be this year's Burnley?
They could be this year's Burnley. Top, they could. That 7th place, I think, is
it's well up for grabs.
It's up for grabs, isn't it? Especially if we don't settle, straight away. So yeah, it's. I mean, all the normal ones are in there, aren't they? Liverpool have started well, and Man City have started reasonably well. So it's really how you expect it. So
what have you made of United? Obviously, hammered their own last week by Spurs, but then recovered to win at Burnley. You're just looking at a bit of flux, don't they, at the minute?
Yeah, I think they're carrying a lot of baggage from the summer over into the first few games, and I think I don't think he's helped that Mourinho really with his attitude. So it's going to be. I think it's calling on a couple of leaders in the dressing room, but those leaders they've got to sort of align themselves with Mourinho rather than whereas they've sort of been pulling away from them. They've got to align themselves because. This is it for the rest of the season, isn't it? Now they'll come back. The Champions League will start. They've got a tough group, and they really need to knuckle down. People like Pogba and Lukaku have got to become real leaders in that dressing room now, rather than seem to be not saying about Lukaku, but Pogba just seems to be agitated and there's talk of him wanting to move and stuff like that. They've all just got to settle down and get hold of it. So the story isn't about Mourinho and is about the players, because I think the players have got off scot-free again, as they always seem to do. Lukaku, he scored 3 goals in the 4 games, but he hasn't had a great start. But that's probably a hangover from the World Cup. So it's up to those players now to really galvanise themselves and really start pushing forward. And the story not being about Mourinho. I know that Mourinho likes a story being about him, but I think that for this time it's genuinely about him. So I think that's what they really need to do. Some characters, do something for themselves. Where's the when I know we always go back to it, but when Sir Alex was in charge, if they were in a rocky spell or something, it'd be Roy Keane who'd come out and go, you know what, this is up to us. This is down to us. Let's sort ourselves out, and the characters would. I don't know if Man United have got that. There's far too many players at Man United who are happy to hide behind Mourinho and let him take the blame rather than coming forward and going, actually, no, this is on us. We need to.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird how they've kind of slipped away from what. I suppose what's strange is it's like almost a mirror of what happened with Liverpool. They had that 20 years of domination, and then he just slowly but surely slipped back because the team changed and they tried to change different aspects. And
when was the last time Manchester United though went out and bought a player who you thought he's a game changer? This fella, he's really gonna put them on another level.
I think it was probably Di Maria on the face of it. When you looked at it from where he was, you thought if he can settle, he's a fantastic. And his first few games, remember, he was playing almost just in front of the back 4. I remember him playing Burnley away, and he couldn't get near him. He was pinging all sorts of balls, and he just didn't settle, did he? Since then, I think.
Do you know the last one? I think
you're gonna go back for
Van Persie.
Van Persie.
Van Persie, honestly, is the last one that I think they went and bought a player that could almost give them the league.
Yeah.
And they used to do that quite regularly. I know Lukaku, people say Lukaku, but Man United used to go out and go. I know they got Sanchez in, but they used to go out there and get the best. And maybe football's moved on a little bit, and it's not all about individuals anymore as such. But they used to go out there and buy the best players.
Statements, wasn't it? And have the.
Well, who would have been the statement buy this summer?
Someone like
Harry Kane.
See,
you say that?
Could he have got him now?
Go and do it.
Go and do it.
Go and do it. Go and.
See, I think he could have got Bale, and he would have been a massive statement for them.
Maybe so.
But
if it was at Man United of old,
yeah,
they wouldn't have been trying to get Harry Maguire this summer.
No.
They'd be trying to get Harry Kane this summer. If it was the old Man United, they puff out your chest and say, "We'll take who we want." Man United. It wasn't even a sniff,
was it? No.
So I think that's where Man United has changed as a club. They don't do that anymore, and I think that's where everyone else has stole a march on them. I think a little bit.
Interesting to see how they go. Arsenal obviously under Emery, important win for them at the weekend, 2-0 up and went back to 2-2, and then obviously Lacazette gets them a win, and that'll do Emery the world a good one. A couple of wins on the spin now, and all of a sudden the start looks alright, whereas people were pressing panic buttons. One team that hasn't started well, not that we're bothered in the slightest, but is West Ham United. They were obviously the only win they've had is in the cup, and that was 10-man Wimbledon. Were beating them for a long time in that. 4 defeats out of 4. The knives are out for Pellegrini. All the discourse has started, all the distrust, the board to blame and blah. This is after a lot of West Ham fans were lauding it in early August about what they spent. Yeah, very strange. Not like them. But if you made that a whole situation, just a mess, isn't it? Just seems like a mess.
It's just a continuation, isn't it, of what happened last season. Yeah, I think the West Ham, it's for me, it's more to do with the people who run the club than the people who manage the club. I just think they think there's something they're not, and instead of trying to build to something that they want to be, they almost try and jump 3 or 4 runs up the ladder at once. Whereas you just think, take your time a little bit more. Just have a more firmer idea of what you want to do, a long-term plan. I don't think the manager helps that. He's not.
No.
I mean, let's be honest. He's grey, isn't he? He's grey, isn't he? I think we said a long time. Well, maybe I said a long time ago.
I think you said a long time ago. Stuff about him.
Well,
what I said about him was, I just think there's to be a Premier League manager. I think you've got to be hungry. You've got to be starving to want to do something. I think it's all about younger managers now. I think that's the way the Premier League is. And I look at him and just think, you've done it, mate. You've done it all. You won the league with City, done well in Spain. He's 66 or something. Why? Do you know what I mean?
And that's not. I don't think 66 is.
No. But there's
the new 45 pass.
Well, it is.
So you're lucky.
I'm laughing. I'm 23. Yeah, living the dream. No, but I know what you mean. But what I'm saying is there'll be managers like Alex Ferguson was kicking every ball, was animated at 70.
Yeah.
This fella.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Though,
couldn't be asked at City.
I think you can come in, and if you've got the energy and there's already a lot of stuff set up, like the guy's coming to Chelsea. He's what, 60?
60, isn't he?
But he looks energetic. But also he
also looks 80. But
and he smokes 80.
And he smokes 80 a day. Yeah.
But he's come in and he's come into a setup that's already there, and everything is ready for West Ham. You just feel like they've ripped it up and started again, and the energy to take that forward. It's going to be considerable, and it's how many hours a day he works, how much sleep he's getting, and all things like that. And it must be tiring.
I think when you've got a collection of players who, when I look at West Ham, I just see too many knobhead players. When I look at them, I do. I'm sorry, you do. And then you bring in Jack Wilshere into that mid. I mean, Jack Wilshere, God. And then you've got Mark Noble next to him. You talk about Everton's engine room being slow last year. Those two, they leave on a Wednesday to get to the match on a Saturday. The pair of them, they're terrible. But if you're then thinking that those players are going to be inspired by him, they need someone. Like, I would say, like Eddie Howe. Right? That kind of, Or, you know what, even a Dyche, someone who will get into them and go, look, this is how we're going to be, and we're planning for 5 years, 3 to 5 years here, and we're going to bring a mixture in, we'll get some youth in, and some hunger, and you'll work hard, and blah. And I know they have this opinion of themselves, of this footballing team that does this. I haven't seen that for years, I'll be honest. Since probably Harry Redknapp was manager. Pardew's team had a little go of it, and then that fell away. But probably since Redknapp, that they haven't played that way. I know they won it, they certainly didn't play that way under Allardyce. But maybe, just maybe, and Tony Cottage come on and said it, they should have just left David Moyes there, because he got them stable. They finished the season alright, didn't he? They beat us last day.
Yeah.
They had them organised. You know, man.
Well, I did the social club with Paul, and I'd be a remiss, you know, not to mention. He said, "But isn't it the same thing as us saying about Allardyce?" But my argument to that was, and I think we both feel the same way, is that when David Moyes was at Everton, we played some good football. We did play some good attacking football. We did. Other people may not choose to remember that, but we did play good football, and I think that's the difference. I think Moyes has been put into this bracket of a manager, and I think it's unfair that he's been put into it. He's not an Allardyce manager. He's a manager who can come in and organise a team, but when he's left, his kind of football is attacking football when he's left to get on with it. Whereas Allardyce, that's not his kind of football.
See, I totally agree with that, and I think the thing with Moyes is a lot of people do rewrite it, but there's certainly a level that he would probably get to. But then again, I don't know, because at Everton he was never given any kinds of tools to be able to go any further than that. So I would say what annoyed me about Moyes at Everton was obviously it's all about me, and we're only good because of me. That annoyed me, and he talked it down to build himself up. But by the same token, we did play good football. He had a bit of an inferiority complex away from home against any of the top sides. Fair play. That's levelled at him, and he has to take that square on the chin. At home, I don't think he had it, because we beat everyone at home. He literally beat everybody who call themselves the big clubs. He beat everybody at home. You know, Liverpool 3 or 4 times. He beat Arsenal nearly every year. We beat United a lot of years, and when they were good, we still beat them. Chelsea, we knocked. You know, we beat them sometimes. They were probably his biggest losers, because they knew how to mix
always
it
beat
up.
City.
Always beat City. Home and away. City 7 years out of 9 at Eastlands. So he was good at getting that, and he was building it. He went to United. I honestly believe if United had left him, they'd have done no worse than what's gone on. I don't think, because Van Gaal came in and he was shite for United. Let's be honest. Got them an FA Cup with those players. He should have won all sorts. But West Ham, it's fine if they'd have gone and appointed, I don't know, a 43-year-old or Nagelsmann from Germany or someone like that, because that's young and progressive.
They were after Fonseca as well for
Fonseca, but I don't think he fancied it. I think he wanted Everton.
But a young coach, you're right.
They then go.
Eddie Howe would fit the bill.
It'd be perfect for it, or their image of how they like to play. But then they go and choose a manager who's been in China, by the way. That's where they picked them up from. You know, and I just think, for me, I've seen some Evertonians going, "Oh, he's a boss manager, wish we were linked with him." And I'm like, you know, I think it's rather have Allardyce. I'm not saying something. So they are, to me, they are in a bit of a mess, and you know, they haven't got a sack clause in his contract. So if they get rid of him, they've got to pay him 15 to 20 million or something for him to go.
It's only early doors. Listen, I think they've been unlucky in a couple of games they've played. I mean, Arsenal away, they seem to be playing. They did all right. Even at the weekend, I think it was just stupidity by some of the players. I've seen them get beat. So they're not a terrible side. They're just not a. They never look like they've got a pattern of play in them at all.
Bournemouth done them, didn't they? You were beating Bournemouth, and Bournemouth done them. Could have been more. That's the thing. I think they just look individual, like a team of individuals. They look, dare I say it, they look like Everton last year.
What I would say, going back to the Moyes argument, is I think before Moyes came in, I never looked at Arnautovic as anything. I just thought he was a sulky midfield winger. Yeah. He put him up front, and now he seems all right. Like he still seems like a sulky striker, but he seems like, you give him the ball. And
he seemed like a sulky striker that can cause you problems, though, and he didn't do. And let's be honest, Sil Moyes went in, they were gone. You looked at them, they were a shambles, and you were like, they're gone. They're not staying. Billett had lost his mind.
I mean, and as I said, that would be my argument. Is I think that if Moyes had been left in there, I think he would have worked through the problems, got them organised, and then they would have started playing.
Better football.
But you know, they've chose to go a different route, and hopefully they get fucked.
Well, I think they are.
And I'll always say this: the ground does not help. No, it does not help.
It's the worst. Let's be honest, the worst thing they could have ever done. They were hard. That up them.
Batista, you blew up the wrong stadium. You blew up the. Have you seen the advert for that film? By the way, you've got an Ucky box, haven't you? So you might have seen the advert. Paul knows.
I've got a fair.
There's a film coming out.
I don't ever watch adverts.
There's a film coming out, right? It's got Dave Batista. You won't know. He's arrested.
All right. Batista.
All right.
Hell, mate.
Well, you've got
the Batista bomb.
You've got kids.
Seen them, mate.
Get it.
Seen them.
So he's in this film with
Seen him live twice.
He's in a film with Pierce Brosnan, right?
Yeah.
And it's been made. It's one of those gets released in the cinemas, but is also on Sky Movies the same day.
Oh yeah.
So you know it's good. You know it's good straight off the bat. So basically, the premise I can.
The cinema gets the sneak preview like 24 hours before it. Yeah.
So the premise is apparently that he flies over to see his Cockney daughter.
Oh yeah,
right.
As you do.
And he gets big tickets, which were the hardest tickets to get, by the way.
Okay.
To go and see West Ham in the Europa League. Tough, like number one thing that night.
That's amazing. Who against the Farmers?
It is literally. It says something like, I don't know,
Astani.
Apostle Apapopol. So he's like dead excited, but then when he gets there, apparently there's Russian gangsters, and Pierce Brosnan is a Russian gangster, by the way.
James Bond,
right?
He's trained.
And there's all kinds.
Was he a double agent when he was 007?
I don't know. His accent's shocking, by the way.
Wow.
So, and there's all scenes of like things blowing up. Dave Batista riding in a scrambler across the roof. So you can again, me and Paul with someone that you can imagine this, couldn't you? They've probably gone right. We want to do something with the stadium, and them going.
West Ham have loved.
Oh, we need an excuse to move. Yeah, blow the place up. So it looks like the worst film out in the world,
and they've blown
up the ground. So it was obviously made a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Interesting.
It looks shocking.
Interesting. What, the Olympic Stadium?
The film just looks
the film. Yeah. Worst thing they could have done. Tight ground. Get results at home all the time. Move to that. They scrap. Fellas run on and plant flags in the middle of the pitch and everything. That's just shite. They're in trouble. Newcastle, not started great either. Rafa's got a cob on. What was that? You know what? I seen something last week and I've just totally, and you might know, why was Perez kicking off at the end? I know they got knocked out the Carabao Cup after that, and Perez was kicking off and Benitez is restraining him in the middle of the pitch. What? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's lucky someone does a little bit of research.
It is.
They played Nottingham Forest and they equalised in the last minute, and basically they should have had a Stonewall penalty. They should have had one. Yeah. Absolutely had one. Didn't get it. Forest went down the other end and got the winner. But it was an absolutely bad. It was an absolute nailed on pen. And this is what makes me laugh about the fact that in our game we had VAR, and in their game they didn't have VAR. It's just nonsense. How can a tournament be a level playing field? That's like saying in our game we're going to have linesmen, and in your game you're not going to have linesmen. It's not
weird, isn't it?
It's not a level playing field.
No.
If you're going to have it in every game.
To be fair, they could have had our VAR.
I know.
Our game was boring and we didn't need it.
So that's why he was kicking off.
Yeah, okay. Fair
I think the problem with Newcastle this season, I think they've had a toughish start. I think they've played City and Spurs, haven't they? They drew with Cardiff and they got beat by someone else. His medium research. I think the problem with Newcastle is, and it's the same problem that's been there all the time, is that, and I think it's been a little bit worse this summer, there's no money because of Ashley. And I think what Benitez has done, instead of walking away, which he could have, and he will do eventually, of course he will, unless they get taken over, is he's trying to implement that us versus the world thing, like he did at Liverpool. But the problem is that Ashley doesn't give a monkey. He couldn't care less. Doesn't care. But now he's having problems with his team as well.
Yeah.
Because what he wants to do is, and he did it against Chelsea. That's the other team, Chelsea. Sorry. So they've had Chelsea, City, and Tottenham in the first 3 games. Don't forget. When they played Chelsea, he wanted to play 3 at the back and try and contain them. And apparently a couple of players fell out with him. The Shells being one of them. And then when he's done near enough the same thing at City, where it's almost like and in both games, fair play to him. They nearly got something out of them. So they equalised against Chelsea, and it was only a late on goal. And City, they got an equaliser as well, and obviously City have gone on to win it, but only by the odd goal. So that's the approach. It's negative, but it nearly got them something.
Yeah.
And
but he's brilliant at that, isn't he? Tactically, he's brilliant.
But if your captain has got to go with you in that and understand that it's for the best. If the captain, I think what he was saying is, no, let's go out and have a go at these. And he's like, no, because we'll get beat.
We'll get
battered.
Yeah.
Like Huddersfield did the week before at City. So he's trying to, I can understand what he's trying to create, but if the players are not on board with them, but listen, I think it's too early to judge them because, as I said, they've had a difficult start.
I just look at them and don't think they've got any goals in them. And the fella who got them 9 goals last season, they shipped off to the West Brom or somewhere, Gale. And
they've got Rondon, so we'll have to see.
He doesn't score goals, mate. 6 goals.
But we'll have to see.
Great target man at holding the ball up, but he doesn't score. And that ultimately, for me, will play a part.
Listen, they were always going to struggle because they didn't buy anyone. Yeah. Ultimately, they brought the keeper in. Who's a good keeper.
A good goalkeeper,
and I think let's judge them the next international break. See where they are. But as you said there, it is goals, and if they can't score goals, then
we see in the side come to Goodison at the weekend. Who were probably, Matt, if you're watching, no disrespect, but one of the worst teams I've seen for a while in the Premier League. And
but they got a point.
But
they got a point.
They're going to struggle ultimately. Forget about the game at the week. They stuck to the task brilliantly, and they did 8 of them were like 6 foot. They were massive, weren't they? But they're another team without goals in that final third. They're going to really struggle.
For teams like Huddersfield, it's not. I mean, if you go somewhere like the Etihad and get beat, alright, they got beat 6-1. You're like, okay. You come to Goodison and nick a point, and you're like, okay. But then, when you play Cardiff at home, like they did the week before, you've got to be picking up 3 points. Yeah. You've got to have that level where you say, well, them, we're going to beat them. Them, we'll try and frustrate them for a draw. And these,
we'll beat them.
Alright, if we get beat, we get beat. Let's make sure the damage is not too severe. And that's what you've got to try and do in the Premier League. But you've got to be beating those teams.
The likes of Cardiff, who I've seen like the highlights. Cardiff should have won the game. They had loads of chances against them, and that's when you're the team who are probably going to be down there because they haven't got a lot of goals in their side either. They're the games you need to win, and you look at it, looks like going to be a long season for them. Definitely. Obviously, Wolves won at West Ham. That was a big win for them. They haven't got a point. I think
Wolves will be fine.
As long as they, I think
Wolves and Fulham will be fine.
They've already learnt Wolves from when they played us. They were so high up the pitch. Then they got beat the week later, and I think they're starting to realise that they'll score goals,
and with someone like Traore, they can hit teams on the break. So I think they'll be both of them have illustrated.
Fulham are throwing goals in left, right, and centre, both ends, aren't they? So, but they play like that. They're very attacking. They'll concede loads and they can score goals. The biggest surprise for me has been Mitrovic scoring goals in the Premier League because Newcastle can't buy a goal. They end up loaning him out and getting rid of him, and I think he scored 4 or 3 top scorer, isn't he? With or second top scorer, so he's done quite well. Moving on, there is the international break. Mentioned it before, and you've got a cracking story about probably the story of the international break.
Yeah, well, we've got this new UEFA League
starts, doesn't it?
Remember we spoke about this 6 years ago?
6 years ago.
6 years ago it was. On the original Footy Show, I think, and we were talking about it. It's a very convoluted thing. I think it's 5 leagues. And then within the leagues, I think it's broken into 4 or 5 mini leagues of 3.
As long as they know what's going on.
As long as they know what's going on. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. So England play Spain on Friday, but then they play a friendly next week. Basically, the premises of this thing and this is not the main story, but I'm just breaking this down, is that it's so UEFA can control the rights, essentially. So instead of having friendlies and all the money going to the federations and them doing their own advertising and them doing their own TV deals, it goes into a central pot now. So I think we've seen this 2 years ago when the European Championships started, the qualifying, or it'll be like 3 years now, sorry. And suddenly everything become, people may have not noticed this, but if you will have noticed little things. So all the advertisers are the same. So like the Champions League. When they're doing, when they're interviewing someone after the game, if you looked at the microphone, it's not ITV Sport, or it's like the Champions League, it's that brand. It's like the Premier League, it's that brand, it's the brand. Everything got centralised, so that all the money goes into UEFA and then comes out at the bottom. And for them, they make more money. It's more fair. It looks more professional, I would suppose, as well. Like this all started with the Premier League, with all the little things like the brand, the patches, the numbers. Everything's the same. We're starting to see this in other countries now, where they're all getting the same. In Italy, doing it now, where they're all kicked off because of the captain's armbands. Because I know, like in Italy, the way they'll all have a different captain. Spain, or they've got like the Catalan for Barcelona. So they've all started kicking off because Roma can't have. So it's all set. So this is another way of doing it. Instead of having friendlies, UEFA have gone, no, we'll just have this tournament. All the money comes to us. So in England, Sky have got the England games now, whereas it used to be ITV. And apparently, it couldn't be Sky, but because of this thing, they've bought the rights, and it can be Sky, because it's not a protected tournament. Another way we have some protected tournaments that have to be on normal telly. This one doesn't, because it's a new one. So that's why essentially it's being made, so UEFA can coin it in. But Wales are playing Denmark. Denmark are in dispute over commercial rights, money, basically. What they get paid.
Isn't it always?
What they get paid, essentially. Right. But I think sometimes it's valid. I think sometimes, I don't know what the money is, but I think sometimes it's valid. If you're getting, especially when you see like the African nations where the players know there's a certain amount of money coming into the federation and they're getting nothing out of it. I mean, we've seen stories past of like the Cameroon plane not taking off for the World Cup till Nigeria, till money's paid, like literally like
into your bank.
You've got them.
Hang on, lad. I've only got one bar. Me money hasn't got.
PayPal me. So Denmark, everyone is in dispute basically. This has led to a squad being drafted in and a coaching staff being drafted in, and I think only 2 of the players are 11-a-side players, and the rest are futsal players. So I can't wait. I so want this game to go ahead like this. I don't want there to be a last minute thing where Christian Eriksen saves the day. I want it to go ahead because I can't wait to see.
Imagine
futsal players getting the ball and then like one of the Welsh players goes like, I really want to see this one. I mean, because we've seen in the past, remember Scotland, I think that's when they played Latvia, and they all had to come on the kit, and there was no other team. They had to do the kick off, and they all celebrated. I just want to see a game of footy between like a proper nation versus futsal players, because you know what it is as well. It's that thing inside me. When I was a kid, and you'd see kids on the playground doing all the things, all the step overs and all the tricks, but you knew that they were shite in 11-a-side. You knew if you got them in a real game of football, you would absolutely destroy them. But on the playground, they thought they were fucking Charlie Charles doing all the step overs, right?
But could they do them?
On a 5-a-side pitch, and it's the same on a 5-a-side pitch. You play 5-a-side, and these lads are doing, and you see all these fucking freestyle videos now, and they're doing all these things, and you think, lads, I would wipe the floor with you on an 11-a-side pitch. You couldn't even run
They're
up and
wiping the floor with you on a 5-a-side pitch.
Yeah, but who gives some monkeys when it's 5-a-side? It's nothing. It's nothing. It's for fucking accountants on a Wednesday night to feel good about themselves because the missus ate them or something. I don't know.
Does anyone in the room play like continue to play that kind of footy?
I think 11. 5-a-side. No, it used to always bug me. No, it used to always bug me. Then you turned up on a Sunday to play footy somewhere, and there was a 5-a-side pitch, and you seen a bunch of lads playing 5-a-side, and you're like, you fucking shitbags. It's Sunday morning, and you're playing This is where we get out of bed and play proper footy. No, and you've had like an hour's kip. I used to go to work on a Saturday night, finish work at like 6 o'clock in the morning. This is when I was 36, and I'd still get up on a Sunday morning and play footy. And these fellas are saying, oh, Dimitri, pass me the ball. Dominic, pass me the ball. It's a new age thing.
It must be, that sounds like. So back to the Wales, Denmark.
So I want to see Wales players just leave the Denmark futsal lads in bits on the floor. Because there's a generation of kids who think footy, all it is doing trick shots for YouTube.
Just imagine.
I just want to see them ended on the floor.
If they beat Wales though.
Well,
can you imagine Wales futsal player running at Ashley Williams?
I just want. Oh yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean.
If you want to do Ashley Williams,
there's beautifulness in that sentence.
Flip flop, do a little flip flop on
flip flop on
little flip flop.
Flick it over his head and touch that.
Can you imagine though, like little left back or little right back, Gareth Bale just picks up the ball and starts running at them.
Yeah, it's gone.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This lad's been playing footy with a ball that doesn't bounce for a start. You know, where he thinks a foul is if I just touch it, and Bale just steamrolls him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I hope it does go ahead.
The goalie, imagine the goalie. What's the goalie going to do? Little tiny goals from 5-a-side. We can do that.
This goal massive. It'll be like that other year when Leicester had the tape measure out. Remember, you were going, hang on, is this goal regulation? Leicester or Swansea, Leicester are measuring the goals.
I really hope, because you very rarely get something in footy that just
piques your interest.
Just like everything's so even now in football. Everything's even.
Well,
gone are the days of.
It's funny you say that because we're going on to referees.
But gone are the days of you know. Oh, we know very little about this team.
Yeah.
I know pundits do still.
Yeah,
they have little about teams, but
about any team.
So yeah, it'd be good. Hopefully it happens.
Be amazing.
Fuck the Danes.
Ericsson, don't even throw your Viking shit at me and get them out of trouble by paying everyone's bonuses because you're amazing. Let the futsal lads represent.
Let's see futsal.
Let's see.
They've run their miles off for too long now. These fucking futsal.
Q Wales 1, futsal Denmark 3. These are amazing. Get them in. That's what you'll have. You'll have some blues on Twitter wanting them to sign up. Did you see that lad there, Ericsson? Johnny Blue Ericsson.
They'll have all had to run out and buy footy boots. Footy boots.
They'll be in the shop, like running up and down the Danish store going,
this ground moves when I run on it. What's going on?
Does it take a stud? So they'll be like, amazing.
Go on then.
Be amazing.
Let's
move on, referees. I just
what about them?
Fucking hate them.
I know you do.
I hate them.
I've read the comments.
We saw at Goodison another pathetic.
Okay. Have you got a point to this story, by the way?
No,
I just want to moan about
140 grand a year, £140,000 a year to not be able to do a job.
Well, we know what we need to do. We need to VAR in. There's nothing going on about it.
Don't do these man pissed.
You're like a broken record.
And I'll stay until the FA knock at me out with these refs, and I fucking raw-arsed a lot of them because I hate them. No, it's just because the Rashford Bardsley thing at the weekend again. Bardsley, you know, was heading that Rashford's red card. There's all kinds of stuff going on. I've seen ridiculous tackles. The Everton game, Tosin just gets punched in the face when he's heading the ball. It's
if only there's some kind of technology involving a video replay that had been invented that maybe could solve the problem.
Be good, wouldn't it?
I mean, it'd be good, wouldn't it? I mean, I remember last season when there was this new revolutionary committee that was going to sit down on a Monday and review incidents on the weekend and maybe, you know, give out bans.
It only lasted for 3 weeks.
It did, didn't it? It's funny. Yeah, they got an Everton player and then went, we've had enough, lads. Leave that.
That was amazing. The ass got banned, and then the other week they said Salah was entitled if he feels a touch.
Oh, yeah.
Self-theoretic. whenever a pen gets a pen. At the same ground as well, Berserk. But yeah, absolute madness with the officials are pathetic. I want to talk to you about City, about the all or nothing.
Did this about 2 weeks ago.
And I finished it now.
Feel the need.
I've finished it now, so I want to, because I've caught up, I want to like, because the other week I was like, well, don't tell me.
But you can't wait till your son to grow up, can't you? So you can have these conversations with him.
That's great. I'm having them now. I mean, I told you what he said the other day about looking so amazing. 7 years of age. Dad, why looks like a little kid playing with men? Yeah, he does. It's exactly what he looks like. Anyway, back to City. Boss, wasn't it? Because I'm also on the episode 6 of Juventus as well. Okay. Gone full on documentary footballer, given that there's no football this week. But is this going to carry on? The Spurs have done, they're doing one, aren't they? They've signed up to do something with Netflix, I think. So the City one, does this carry on next year, or is it done?
Well, I think for 10 million quid, you'd want more than 1 year, wouldn't you?
You've got to, haven't you? So what? So when you're because I watched another thing with Guardiola on YouTube the other day with Gary Neville and stuff. But how did they? Has it taught you anything that you didn't think happened anyway behind the scenes, or has it opened your eyes in any way and you've gone, oh, that was interesting, or is it just, you think a lot of it's just purely stage managed for?
I don't think any of it's stage managed. I think I've read that Man City have not got any control over it. There's no apparently the director or the guy who edits is a Liverpool fan. Yeah. So apparently that was one of the big things about it, was that Man City don't have any control over it. That's what I've read anyway. And it's not a PR thing. I thought it showed them. I thought it showed them in a good light. I can't imagine it being any different. I think Pep Guardiola comes across. There are times, what I would say is, there's times when you almost feel like you've walked into the conversation halfway through, like you haven't got the full story. Like when he's saying about like you can hate me and all that. Where does that come from? Don't quite understand where that comes from. Is there something somewhere else where someone kicks off on him or falls out with them?
Or do they complain over?
Yeah, there's like little bits in it like that where you think, we're not getting the full story of where that come from. So there are moments like that, but I suppose it's, you don't want it to be there to embarrass anyone. They wouldn't anyway. But I thought it was good. I thought it'd give a good insight. Again, like I always say, football fans want football players humanised. Basically, that's all they want. And I think you do see some people come across really well, like Delph, and some people come across like massive knobheads, like John Stones. So
there you go.
And some people are a little bit in the middle, like Kyle Walker. So no, but I thought, and again, you look at like the Vincent Kompany bits, he fully backs up that he seems like the soundest man in the world.
Literally the best fella ever, isn't he? Even when he's watching the game with his like father-in-law and United concede, he just goes, doesn't he? Doesn't like jump up or not. I mean, he lords.
But it's like, 10 minutes like I thought it was good. And as it said, Fabian Delph is a big standout person from it, just because he seems, from the outside, you see him almost like as an inferior character in that dressing room, and yet in the dressing room he's a big voice, big presence, and also like the respect I think that's given to like Yaya Toure when they've
they get him back.
But when there's a game later on where I don't even think he's played in it, and he might have gotten beat or something, but he basically conducts like the aftermatch, breakdown of it, sort of thing, little things like that, and I thought it was good.
He is mad, Guardiola, isn't he? He's eccentric. I suppose you've got to be the way very demonstrative, isn't he? He's all over the place, and he's up and down and that, but he is cool as well. Like, he carries himself well, doesn't he? And I suppose that one of the interesting things I thought was the transfer business when the
centre back. I thought that was really good.
With the way they were talking obviously about Van Dijk, and then they go off obviously to get the other kid, Laporte, don't they? But the way it was done, and the sitting around, and like strategy A and strategy B and things like that, I thought that was quite interesting. And you go over them, obviously the playing journey and the constants. I suppose the constant measuring of players, aren't they? They're looking and going, can he do it? And we're thinking about next season. And I thought that was really interesting, the way they all conducted. And then that fella, the Brandon fella, he was like a polo player or something, or who Guardiola
loves. His mate, yeah.
His mate had like nothing to do with football, but he was like a top athlete. And he like
well, he was just essentially
to him at the end.
That he's just essentially is the guy who speaks to him in the you know, the guy just he was essentially his mate.
Yeah.
To be round. To just give him the truth on things.
Yeah. That isn't football.
That isn't football. To just basically sit there and go, no, I think you're wrong on this one, or you know, because he probably knows him and he knows his character, and that, I thought that was interesting, just having that perspective, an outside perspective. That's not naturally a football perspective, but someone who'll just go, like, you know, as a mate, you're being a tit here, or I don't think this is right, or think, you know, that's interesting. But transfer stuff, I thought was really good. It's still
that fella's cool, and he's the chairman, like Mull, whatever his name is. He's quite cool. Like.
But as someone said at the weekend, I was watching Jonathan Northcott actually, and he was on. I think he was on Sunday Supplement, and he just said the only thing was the whole thing about City is like it's just one big PR exercise for the owner. And I thought, you know, when you seen him and when they went over, and it's like
that was a bit. I was a bit uncomfortable.
It's all a bit like they, you know, the record behind all their what they're getting into and everything. He said, you know, football now, you've got them, you've got PSG, you've got Qatar in the World Cup. It's all just PR for really not nice places. That's the kind of thing that sticks in the throat. But
that's what it is, isn't it? It's there, it's not going nowhere, is it? They certainly don't seem to be going anywhere. Do you think there'll be more stuff like this, or do you think there's only a limited? There'll be
so much that we'll hate it.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think it'll just grow? No, what I'm saying, because obviously we had you know, don't do it for yourself, do it for Lucas, didn't we, the other year, and the envelopes and all that.
Oh, yeah. It's the best one ever.
Which wasn't, you know, it's come out with some of the best things ever, doesn't it? And obviously this was more in depth. The Juventus one, I know that you've watched as well.
The Juventus one, when you watch the Juventus one does feel like a creation that was massively headed by Juventus. You know what I mean? There's nothing really. There's nothing really.
Don't see any tactical stuff or not. It's training ground stuff, isn't it? Yeah. And interviews with players. And
a little bit of like following around with their kids and stuff like that. And that's about it when you think about it now. But
the City one is more. Obviously, it's in the dressing room at half time, and he's doing the old David Brent dance and all that, isn't he? And you know, tactics here and shadows and everything, but you don't actually see half of the stuff. He's just moving bits of the board. And I thought that it's mad how many coaching staff they have, though, isn't it? Who were there. There's loads of people in the room. I think it's at Anfield, is it, when someone comes off injured at Anfield and they're watching the game? And
it's Delph, yeah.
Delph is sat there. There's loads of them, isn't it? And then equalise, and they're all bouncing around, and you're thinking there's probably still about 20 on the bench as well. And you're
but that's modern football, isn't it? I know we've got another story on another piece of coaching news, but that's modern football, isn't it? It's looking for every little bit.
Edge, yeah. They take the flag everywhere.
I love the flag. I think the flag's brilliant.
It's good.
I think that's a real thing that I that almost just the other kid as well. Brandon, the kid man. Yeah. They're like, I think the flag's like the best thing in it. They're like the thing. That's like a thing. They're saying, well, this is our dressing room now, and we are City, not this entity.
Yeah.
And I like the fact after games, players are singing, the fans, and they're all really together. That shows you that they don't just go in there and just go, well done lads, we won, or well done lads, or whatever, commiseration. They actually feel it.
And he was singing Kevin De Bruyne.
There is a brilliant team spirit amongst them. You can see that. Can see that's one of the things that comes out of it. How together they are. I mean, I'd love to have seen Everton's dressing room after last season, and some of our players, even after wins. You know, what was there any spirit there at all? No. With them, you can see they're in it for each other. Yeah. That's one thing.
It's cool, isn't it? And that's it. You're seeing what required to be the best, I suppose, from every angle. How thorough Guardiola is everywhere he goes. He's on his computer. You can see him looking at tactics and everything else, and obviously the projections and stuff. So interesting, very interesting. Let's get on to another coach trying to get any kind of edge he can. Big Jürgen, the big chairman, has employed a long throw specialist.
Well, he got his teeth sorted first.
He did get it.
That was the first.
Has he lost any weight?
I don't know.
I don't think he really needed to, did he? He was in. He's just a big fella, wasn't he? His teeth have been done. And that is, you know, he's done well there. You know, he sorted the teeth out. That's standard. I mean, standard. I don't know whether he's still with his wife or whether there's a Liverpool girl who's ready to take him, like Brendan in the ticket office, or the shop or the canteen. I don't know. But at the minute, you know, his teeth are done. But in search of greatness, he's gone and got a long throw specialist in. I mean, to be fair, Liverpool have improved every year under him, so he's doing his job, isn't he? What do you make of this in terms of teams always trying to get an edge? I suppose when red zones came in a few years ago, people were like, oh, what's this? And now it's just accepted. What do you make on this throwing coach Lark for a team like Liverpool as well?
Again, it's they've employed a guy who I think he's been working in Scandinavia, and I think he holds a record for the longest throw.
Yeah.
But also he's helped the team who was at last score
10, was it?
You know, different kinds of goals from throw-ins, and I just think that if he helps marginally, then he's done his job. You know, at the end of the day, we're looking for any kind of advantage we can find now in football. And you're right. Years ago, you wouldn't have had half the. You know, you just mentioned all those coaches and stuff. You wouldn't have half of those people at football clubs. You wouldn't have nutritionists. You wouldn't have all these diet. You wouldn't have
sports
teams. Wouldn't take their own chefs with them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have half of these things. You wouldn't have any of it. So football's moved on. It's a you know, massive world, and commercially it's huge. So you're looking for the value in everything.
Of course, but I'm just thinking with throw-ins, especially, should your coach not be able to do that, or is it just literally that we're breaking down every facet of it and saying I want a specialist in that?
I want a Dingo specialist at Everton.
No, you want a zonal marking
specialist. That's what I want. At the end of the day, you are breaking down everything, and it's like, I haven't got the time to sit down if I'm a coach and go through. A manager has to, or a head coach has to divvy out different things for different people. I remember watching the Clive Woodward documentary years ago about when England won the rugby union final, and he wasn't even a coach. He didn't coach.
No.
And when Southampton gave him the job, and people laughed at it, and Redknapp laughed at it, and all this, they didn't understand what he did. He was an administrator. He went in, and it's like Dave Brailsford doing the cycling.
Yeah.
He's another one. He's not a coach. He goes in and he looks at all the different aspects, and then brings somebody in to get 2% extra from that one thing, and then all those percentages just start adding up.
Yeah.
And you've seen it with the cycling with the Tour de France. They've won again this year with a fella that no one thought was ever going to win it, right? Because he looks at every single thing. And I think that's the way football's gone. They've looked at every single thing and gone, where can we get a little bit more out? Where can we just get that little bit more out of it?
Squeeze a bit more out of it, yeah.
So if you need a coach, I remember Liverpool bringing in a lad a couple of years ago who was on YouTube, who was really good at free kicks, could do those bendy free. He couldn't do it. That's all he did. Someone fucking thingo before, right? Yeah. And Liverpool brought him in and got him to do a few sessions with some of their players. How do you do that? How do you do that thing? Like, you're not a footballer, but you're really good at this one thing. So how do you do those free kicks? No, there's the knuckle puck and all that. Yeah. Anyone who's seen the Mighty Ducks, they know. How do you do that? How do you get that bend on it? And this is a lad off YouTube teaching footballers how to do it.
Yeah.
But why not? If he's really good at it, why? Well,
he's a specialist.
If you're good at it and someone else isn't good at it, then I'm going to get the good fellow who's good at it.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the throw-ins. You know, free kicks, we're seeing all kinds of different variations now. So why can't we do it for throw? For years we've had, you know, the only way of doing it was a long throw into the box. But if you've got a decent player, you can just head that away. So why not do something else? Why not be a little bit creative?
They've got the money, if it doesn't work, they've lost nothing, have they? Nothing invented, nothing gained, I suppose. loads of free kick, loads of throw-in specials.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've got that on my
now.
CV now.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Andy Gray said he wants to be the first kick-off specialist. But I thought that was like Van der Nou in our team years ago, Roy Keane, and you've got Henderson who's already got that. He couldn't get it at Liverpool because Big Jaws has got that. Scrappy has got that nailed down, he's got the band on and everything. There you go, that's enough for footy. Go and watch the Mighty Ducks while there's no footy. They're about the knuckle.
Do we?
Do it. That's it. Let us know what
three of them to watch.
Well, there you go.
Do you know what I mean?
1, 2 and 3. There you go. That's how it normally works. I mean, if you do it in any other order, it might be a bit weird. There you go. That is enough from us. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Big thanks to Paul Maton for keeping quiet while we openly mocked the big friendly German. Big fucking German. Yeah. See you later.